2019 is over and now it's 2020. So now there's a new fresh slate of a lot of new movies coming for us within the next year. And it's time to talk about my 20 most anticipated movies of 2020. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a cinematastic day. I'm Josh, this is Simply Cinema, and before we get into my list of the 20 movies for 2020, I'd love to hear yours down in comments below. What if your most anticipated movies of 2020? You don't have to leave 20 if you don't even know that much. We all know about only a certain select few of movies. I've checked different sites just to see the full list of what's known right now, but of course we don't even have all the trailers for all these movies, so some are just based on descriptions, some are based on titles, and we all are looking for different movies, and I'd love to hear what you're looking forward to most in 2020. Starting with number 20, we have Scoob, a just fun, adorable puppy based on the ScoobyDoo show. I really love ScoobyDoo. It's sort of nostalgia, just growing up, getting to watch those sort of cartoons. I'm not sure exactly what sort of direction they're taking with this, but I really like the sort of animation portrayed in the trailer and just the first initial photos that we've seen from this animation. I'm not sure how much they're going to divert from the cartoon, and of course there's been multiple different cartoons of how it's portrayed, but I feel like this will be a fun, gentle, warm-hearted movie in the end. And number 19, we have Eternals, Marvel Eternals. I'm not sure where this film is going to go. We haven't seen much about this at all. Just sort of some of the cast, which sounds pretty good, but I'm not sure if this will be a failure like Guardians of the Galaxy could have been. I really loved the way Guardians of the Galaxy went, and that was one of the weirder, sort of more obscure superhero team-ups that we didn't expect to be so good. And so it could be more like that, but it also could be a failure like Guardians of the Galaxy could have been. Number 18 is one of the more recent ones coming up, is Doolittle, with Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doolittle, and Tom Holland and Kumail Nanjiani and several other well-known cast members added into the mix as the animals alongside Robert Downey Jr. This sounds like it's going to be a fun movie. I don't know too much about the whole premise of the plot because I haven't watched the originals, but it sounds rather enjoyable. Robert Downey Jr. is just one of my favorite actors in general, and some of the voice cast sounds really fun, so I'm really intrigued to see which direction this story takes. And number 17, we have Bond 25, No Time to Die. I haven't watched any of the Bond movies, and I hope to get into a lot of them, if not all of them, before this. But I'm anticipated for this movie because I haven't watched any of them, and given that this is a 25th movie in the franchise, they either must be doing something really good, which is what I'm excited to get into, or they're just trying to play it off too long. And I hope it's not that direction, because it's one more movie that the MCU doesn't have right now once the Black Widow movie comes out, and I'm really excited to see what I can get out of this franchise, hopefully, if I get to watch them all. Number 16 is Black Widow, and I could be so much more excited for this film if it came at a different time, if it came so much sooner, and I'm still really excited for it. The new trailers look really fresh, but it's out of place in the timeline, especially from her fate in Avengers Endgame. But Scarlett Johansson could bring a really well performance. It could feel just really odd watching it out of the timeline order, and I know Captain Marvel diverted back all the way before the Avengers and Iron Man was even introduced, but it still feels out of place because her character's already been introduced throughout the whole MCU, and now that the fate of her has been gone, I'm not sure where they're going to try and take this film and how fresh and original it'll feel for her character. I feel it's well deserved because I been wanting to get a Black Widow solo movie for a while, but it still sort of feels placed at the wrong time based on how they brought her character out to be. Number 15 is called Awhile with Harrison Ford as the lead with the dog, and I don't recall ever reading the book. It sounds familiar, but I've always liked dog movies, and especially with Togo, the most recent Disney Plus original. If it ends up like being like that or even better, I know it's gonna be really good because it's just a fun, charming dog, inspirational, true story. Number 14, we have Ordinary Love, which stars Liam Neeson as the main role, and his wife is recently diagnosed with cancer, and they're just the whole film they're gonna be having to deal with that through probably the real problems, and I feel like it'll be more similar to the recent Netflix film of Marriage Story, where it's dealing with those real strong, powerful instances and consequences. I hope they don't try and sort of hide different things of where they take it. It's going to be relatable to people with those consequences, and for me, that I never dealt with that in my own family, I really want to see how well that's portrayed, and having Liam Neeson in the role, even not being an action movie, I feel like his serious, more monotone voice will really get into being a really strong, powerful movie, and however they portray it is going to be really good. At number 13, we have Pixar's Onward. Pixar movies are always just really fun, and I feel like this one will be no different. The first two trailers weren't super promising. I'm not sure where they were trying to take it, but their most recent trailer sort of bought me into it. I'm a little more excited for it. It sounds a little bit more funny, and with Tom Holland and Chris Pratt as the lead voices in this film, I'm sure it's going to be just a ton of fun. At number 12, we have Free Guy, and this is a film that came out of nowhere. It didn't look super promising, but like every time I watch the trailer, it sounds like it's going to be fairly generic, but I feel like it's going to have a few surprises hidden up its sleeve, giving us some big moments within Ryan Reynolds' role, having this video game player role as an NPC, and then basically breaking out and becoming one of the video game players because he's breaking free from his role of being the NPC. And I'm really interested in where they take that sort of premise of the story and how they portray that, especially with the jokes coming from Ryan Reynolds. And next up we have Kingsman, and this is a film that I haven't watched the first two. This is a prequel of those two from what I recall, and I haven't watched those first two, but my friends have been hyping it up. I've been hearing so much hype from some of the community where this sort of film franchise and trilogy will sort of go. I'm really intrigued in all the gadgets and sci-fi action that I'll be getting in this experience when I start getting into this trilogy. Before I get into my top 10, I'd like for you to comment down below. Let me know your list. And there's no perfect list, there's no right list. We're all gonna have different opinions on what we're most anticipated for, from franchises to trilogies and just solo movies and all. At number 10, we have West Side Story, directed by Steven Spielberg, and I'm anticipated for this film because of the ranking I'm looking forward to do. And I'm hoping to really get into all of his films, hoping to, by the end of the year, since that's when it's coming out, possibly rank all of his movies. I know it sounds a little ambitious. We'll see where I am at with my channel at that point, what I want to do with that. But if I watch all his films throughout the year and at least get a taste of what he's trying to do, even if I don't end up doing that ranking, I'm really excited to just get all of the different funness from his directing and just what he brings. I'm not too familiar with the story in general, but I've heard some good things about what it's based off of. And at number 9, we have Fast and Furious 9. I watched them for the first time this past year once Hobbs and Shaw was coming out. That was just a ton of fun to go through that whole franchise. And so this is another one that I'm hoping to have just a ton of dumb fun from this. It's sort of more of that Taco Bell or fast food, junk food movie and I'm really excited to see what comes from it. At number 8, we have Raya and the Last Dragon. We know very little about this besides this adventure film finding this dragon and trying to save it in some sort of way, and it sounds kind of odd but also intriguing because it's a Disney recent revival era films, the next in that sort of series of era films, and it's all of the ones from this past era have been pretty good. The sequels have been so-so for me, but they're still good in that way, and I'm sure Raya and the Last Dragon will bring still a pleasant surprise from what Disney has to offer, and I'm really excited for what this film brings out to the table. And at number 7, we have Venom 2. I really liked the first Venom. I know I haven't given my thoughts on it yet on this channel, but I really enjoyed it, the way Tom Hardy portrays that role. And with the rumors that Spider-Man, the Tom Holland Spider-Man may appear in it, that just sounds really cool. Hopefully as a sequel it doesn't fail. Hopefully it succeeds just as much as Far From Home did for me, because then it would be really excelling in the way it portrays Venom, the cross between Tom Hardy and just how they portray his role, and hopefully it doesn't feel too repetitive, and the Spider-Man part, if they include a lot of it, will bring out a fresh new content to the Spider-Man universe. At number 6, and if you know me, then you know why I have this on my list, it's Birds of Prey. And the super long title that I can't even finish. This is just a obscure looking one. I'm not sure how they're going to portray it. I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I really like the 2016 Suicide Squad. Sort of more of an unpopular opinion, but I still really enjoyed it. And I'm interested to see where they take this, though they have the breakup of Joker. The trailers are fairly promising. I'm not sure what to expect from it. I'm not sure if they're hiding more of the role of her other sidekicks, or if Harley is going to be the main focus completely. So I'm very interested to see how they portray the group aspect of this movie. Number 5, we have the horror movie in the mix, Antebellum. In this trailer, we just get a 1-minute teaser, and it's already really kind of chilling. And I believe it's directed by Jordan Peele, or at least the producers of Get Out and Us from this previous year. And I really loved Us. And I have not had a chance to watch Get Out yet, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that because I heard so many good things on it. And if Antebellum is as good as those two, I'm sure it will be a huge surprise, really chilling, really horrifying, and I'm really gonna enjoy that. At number 4, we have Mulan, which is one of my favorite Disney Renaissance era film, and it's just really enjoyable, and I'm excited to see what they bring out in the live action version, how much they're changing. Even in the original, I wasn't a super big fan of the sidekicks, so I won't be offended if they sort of take it out, but it'll definitely feel different because we haven't really seen those in the trailer they put out so far. Hopefully they don't go too far out of bounds with the original, but I'm still gonna be an open mind, and there was nothing in the trailer that really wowed me, but just for the original film alone, I'm looking forward to see what this live action version brings, because I definitely feel it has potential with just the way the cartoon version played out. At number 3, we have Wonder Woman 1984. This trailer was one of the best I've seen so far, and I just really enjoyed the first Wonder Woman. It's like my favorite of the DCEU so far, and so I'm really excited to see where they take it and how they portray Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and what they're doing with the Steve Trevor line with how they're bringing him back, if that's a flashback or what they're trying to do with him, where they're trying to take the roles, and where they're just trying to take the movie in general, but also adding in this 80s vibe into the whole movie. I definitely feel like it'll feel old-fashioned, but also fun in that regards after we get a superhero within the mix. And at number 2, we have Godzilla vs. Kong. The only thing holding me back is just the delay in pushing it back to November. I'm not sure what they're trying to do with the reshoots. It always makes me kind of nervous when they have to push a movie back that far. But I'm still really excited because I really enjoyed the first Godzilla. I really like Kong Skull Island even more, and even more I love Godzilla King of Monsters, even one of my favorites of 2019. So I'm really excited to see how they finish this off, or maybe there will be a lot more films, a lot more MonsterVerse films later down the road, but with this edition having Godzilla vs. Kong, I'm really excited to see how this epic battle plays out in the end. But at number 1, we have Christopher Nolan's Tenet. And this trailer is the one that really brought me into it. Just the 2020 films in general, all of them have been good, but this one has been just insane. In the trailer, when you watch it, I just don't know what's going on, but it's in a good way because that's how Christopher Nolan's films play out. They're beautifully shot, they're wonderfully casted, and just the way the story flows out is surprising and really well written. For as much as we know about this film so far, this film could be really good with all of its action, story, and just plain fun. And those are just my personal top 20 movies I'm most anticipated for in 2020. And I'd love to hear your list down in comments below. What are your few, or even give me 20 of your most anticipated movies of 2020. Because it's a new year and a new slate of movies. We all know about different movies coming out. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to check out some of these videos on the right hand side of the screen. And I'll be back for more movie reviews, rankings, and more.